In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much money I made carving pumpkins last October, and more importantly, break down how I made that money. Carving professionally started as a way for me to make some extra money for Christmas, and over the years has evolved into a nice little seasonal side hustle. Carving a few pumpkins pays for my entire Christmas. We're talking food, drink, presents for my wife and 2 daughters, with enough left over for a family summer holiday. Not bad for just a few weeks work every October. But before I show you exactly how much money I make, I'm going to explain the model I use to monetize beyond the obvious method of simply selling a physical pumpkin to people. It won't come as much of a surprise that the vast majority of trading happens in October. In this very small window, I need to diversify, scale, and increase the value of my offering to maximize the earning potential. These days, my main product is no longer pumpkins, it's media production. Specifically, producing social media content for businesses to publish to their channels. That shift in mindset is important and is an important factor when pricing. I work for a large media company in my 9-to-5 day job, and for the last decade I've worked with marketing professionals producing campaigns and strategy for product launches, branding and thought leadership campaigns. This experience has put me in a unique position to monetize pumpkin carving as a B2C marketing asset for businesses. Logos and branded pumpkins are my main focus. This means budgets are bigger and I'm able to charge more and carve fewer pumpkins. I would much rather carve 1 pumpkin for £500 than 10 pumpkins at £50 each. Now, everyone is familiar with trends, but have you ever played around with Google Trends? This is a free tool by Google that shows search volume and velocity around specific words and search phrases. And it allows you to filter by platform, so either by Google or YouTube, and also by country or worldwide. If you just search Google Trends, you can have a play around with it for yourself. So why am I telling you this? Well, trend surfing is something marketing professionals, content creators and media brands try and leverage all the time. Most trends will have a sudden rise and decline and rarely repeat. Trends around TV shows and films will have spikes around individual shows or seasons and tail off after a while. However, Halloween is what you call a tentpole trend. This is a recurring trend that happens every year, along with things like Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, that kind of thing. Many brands try and catch these trends and will invest more in content around these. Just think about the effort Coca-Cola has put into associating themselves with Christmas, as this content is attached to a tentpole, which in theory is evergreen, which, if you're not familiar, is a term for content that doesn't have a shelf life. By giving brands something that they can use year after year, I'm elevating the product beyond a pumpkin that will last a few days to a digital asset that can be used every year to drive social media engagements. Brands see huge value in this and are willing to pay more. My past customers have included global brands like Warner Brothers, Wizarding World, Sega, Pokemon, Virgin Money, Penguin Random House, the book people. The list really does go on. And this YouTube channel is a byproduct of that service. I wanted a place where I could practice my filmmaking skills. If you've been a subscriber for a while, then hopefully you've seen the quality of my videos and editing improving. Better I get at pumpkin carving and filmmaking, the more I'm able to charge clients for media projects. However, producing media isn't the only source of income. Although everything you see on this channel has been carved by myself, over the last few years, Pumpkin Freak has evolved into a network of independent UK carvers that work together to produce pumpkins in volume for events. I'll market the product, I'll negotiate rates, organise delivery, logistics. I'll also assume all the liability for any breakages in the post. Obviously all for a small commission, of course, but this allows Pumpkin Freak to operate at a much larger scale than I could on my own. After all, the window of interest and in terms of making money is very small, so we need to sort of look at at every possible way to maximize revenue. So there's a few ways to do that. It's media production and videos, which are mainly being produced by myself for third parties. There's the physical pumpkins, which again produced by myself, but also I've got the network of carvers which we can work together on those on. There's uncarved foam pumpkins, although that is something that I'm winding down on slightly. And then there's carved foam pumpkins, which I'm able to produce all year round and almost have like a stock ready for sale in October. And then there's digital assets. I'm working on a stencil shop at the moment, which I'll be launching this year. Then there's also foam pumpkins for rental displays, and hopefully, you know, eventually this YouTube channel, as I say, will become a source of income as well. I've become a little more selective with the clients I take on myself. I love carving pumpkins, but don't want to be spending all my time carving boring logos on pumpkins for other people. I learned the hard way about turning something I love into a job. I mean, I was a ballroom and Latin American dance instructor from when I left school at 16 right through to my mid-20s, but unfortunately I focused too much on money, and I took something I loved doing and did it every day until I turned it into a job, and I just stopped loving it. So not wanting to suck all the joy from carving, once I get to a specific volume or revenue, you know, I start to turn down a lot of work leading up to Halloween. Now, I'm not going to reveal exactly how much I charge for specific projects, as this can vary quite wildly, but to give a rough idea, past projects have ranged from £180 for a single pumpkin up to £1,500 for a pumpkin, plus, you know, media and a few different edits for various platforms. So in 2022 I made a total of £9,650, that's $11,913, carving a few pumpkins in October, which isn't a huge amount. I won't be giving up my day job anytime soon, but for a few weeks work isn't too bad. These days that money disappears back into Pumpkin Freak fairly quickly. As I said earlier, I'm focusing on trying to improve my video production, you know, cameras, lenses, lighting, laptops. This year I bought a slider rail and a Lazy Susan. Then there's, you know, reoccurring costs like my website, music licensing, you know, video editing software, my accountants, hard drives and cloud storage. You know, the amount of storage I use filming in 4K is absolutely ridiculous. You know, these things can all add up and end up being quite expensive. Not to mention my experiments trying to figure out how to make carvable foam pumpkins have just turned into a black hole of money, but hopefully I'm through that now. I've figured that out. I haven't actually taken any money for myself, so in reality I haven't actually made a penny carving pumpkins, but I see a lot of these things so far as an investment, which improves the production value and allows me to offer a better product, and ultimately, as my skills improve, charge more. I hope you found this video useful. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you next time.